This is an interesting question. I've been trying almost 40 years to find the answer for this. Who am I? You know, and interesting thing is, he probably mentioned, I am from Brazil, so I live in the US, but I am not American. My father is German, and as a background, I study biology. So it's not very common to see someone studying biology working in Microsoft, right? But I also studied business. So I did a lot of studying in my life. So from 3 to 24, I was studying from almost 24/7. So it was very interesting, but I was kind of also, I wanted to do some other things besides studying. And I discovered I never stopped studying since I was a kid. I study until today. I try to keep me updated. So we hear a lot of this word cloud. A lot of people has different definitions for cloud. What is cloud? What I'm going to share here with you is the vision or the definition from Microsoft. How we perceive what is cloud and what are the implications in education. Of course, I'm not going to be able to cover all the implications because it's a lot of changes that's going to happen. And it's almost like a revolution, the same revolution that we have with the UI, with the user interface happening today. So the first characteristic first thing that is going to impact you is there's no upgrades anymore. So you're going to always be updated. There's no versions. Oh, I'm using version, Windows 98 or Office 2003 doesn't open, or I don't know which version it is. This is irrelevant for in a cloud environment. The other thing that is interesting is the cycle of development is much faster. So it's not 3 years between one version and the other because there's no versions anymore. Every 6 weeks, you see new features, you see new stuff happening in the service, bringing new value and faster value for those that are using the service. As a professor, it doesn't matter if you work in a small school in Brazil or the biggest school in the US. The service needs to fit to your needs. It needs to scale to very different audiences. This concept is really interesting because you also need to be able to pay for what you consume, pretty much like electricity, right? So as you use the service, if you don't use it at all, you don't need to pay anything. If you use it, and we can capture how much you use it, and then you'll be able to pay for the amount that you consume it. So those are some of the concepts that Microsoft are bounding itself when creating the cloud. When we think about cloud, this is what we have on the back of our minds. And of course, the system needs to be available, it needs to be secure. So if security is a problem, nobody's going to use it, right? So it's one of the premises of the cloud. With all these premises, what we have in education for us is this mantra. This is like a mantra inside of Microsoft in education. So anytime, anywhere, learning. And this is really important for me because with my experience in the bank, being able to see how technology changed my situation in the bank, and how technology changed the way people were doing their jobs. I was like, maybe I will work one day in this technology thing. I was not technical, I never did develop code or something like that, but I could see then, based on this job that I had, the impact that technology had. I was like, yeah, maybe I should work in the technology business one day. But I will stick to the bank because I'm going to be, working with stocks and options and doing this stuff. And I ended up not working in the bank. They talked too much about money, and I wanted to talk about other things in the bank. And one of the things was, I was always thinking about how to change people to change the world. And when I entered Microsoft many years later, I think I got an opportunity to work in education, and I think this is actually one of the best jobs in Microsoft, to work in education, because we have the chance to work with the people that are changing the world, actually, and provide you the tools to help your job to change the world. So, how we are doing this in terms of the cloud? The traditional way that we organize software is you have an application that runs on a server, usually, and you have a development platform. And for the cloud, it's exactly the same structure. We created the same, we are using the same components, but all the components are running as a service. So we have the application level is called software as a service. The server is called the infrastructure as a service, and then the platform is called the platform as a services. So those are all converted into services, and then you can run the whole application into this environment. And this is not a story that we are telling about a vision. So this is happening today. And here you can see exactly in the Microsoft offerings in terms of the products, what we have in terms of on-premise and what we have in terms of cloud. What do they represent in terms of those three layers that you saw there? You have had the chance to, I don't know if all of you, who here saw Frank's presentation? Okay, some of you saw Frank's presentation. I will not go into the details of Live EDU, but Karnat and Mr. Stanish this morning presented how we are going to be exposing Live EDU services as part of the services that you have available through Karnat. And you will be able to see, today I don't think it's possible, right, Frank? But you will be able to see one link there that goes to what we call Live EDU. Live EDU is the cloud for education. It's an offer that Microsoft created specifically for education, and it aggregates different services for education. So as part of this services, what we have in a very, very high level, I'm not going to enter into the details of the service, is we have Outlook Live, which is Exchange. Exchange, as you know, probably you use Outlook. Exchange is a server, communication service that runs on premise, and this is the online version of that. It's called Exchange Online. For Live EDU, we have a different version. It's called Outlook Live. And then we have on the other side all the services that are consumer services. So we have Messenger, we have SkyDrive, which is 25 gigabytes worth of storage. And as part of SkyDrive, you can access your Office documents. And you can not only create new documents, you can edit your documents, and you can share your documents in the cloud with your coworkers, with your students, with your friends. So in a nutshell, this is what is Live EDU, and this is going to be available to you via Karnat. But Live EDU is not the end of the story. As I told you, we are evolving, and Live EDU in about 12 months or so is going to merge into what's called Office 365. And Office 365 is the future of productivity. And we are going to be able to provide what we call Office 365 for education. And among all the services that we have today, like Exchange Online, we are going to have other services like SharePoint Online. So if you're familiar with the SharePoint services, it's going to be available as an online service. We're going to have Link Online, which is a instant message, is a communication service that you can basically do meetings, online meetings with people. You can communicate in a one-on-one basis as an instant messenger, and you can also communicate as if it was your phone. So you can connect to your phone line, and you can call people using this service in the web via voice over IP. So it's a very interesting set of services. And also you have Office Professional Plus as a service that you will be available as a subscription model for education. Okay? So you can have the richest experience of the client connecting to the experiences of the services in the web. And this is the future of Office 365, this technology the best way possible. One thing that I would recommend, that I saw today, one book that was really important for me, and I call it the soft part of software, is this book. Is called Take Back Your Life. And it's basically how, it's very simple concepts, how you can, applying a very simple framework, use Outlook to never have problems with, last minute crisis and get a lot of things done. So I highly recommend that you reflect about the way you're using your time, and if you can be more efficient doing that. It was very important for me to do that. And cloud is going to, basically, our offers for cloud in productivity is going to do that. It's going to enable all these tools for a lot of people. Even if you're a small business, a medium business, or a big business, you're going to be able to have access to the same tools to compete in the market and to have more time to be doing fun stuff.